Hey, Ryan. Hey, Ryan. You'll never be anything but a scalper. All right, let me put this over here. E-Man. I like that. Oh, you didn't say E-Man, but there you go. That's another. I'm E-Man. I am E-Man. All right. How do I pin? I think I do spotlight for everyone or pin. Yeah, spotlight for everyone. That's it. All right. So you guys are seeing my SPY chart, hopefully, and me up in the corner or something. Hopefully, that's what it looks like. Let me see here. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, good. Oh, you heard Discord isn't selling to Microsoft. Ooh, that's interesting. Also, we'll take a look at Netflix because I think that supposedly had some interesting news in after hours. My mom was telling me about in an email that I did not get to read yet. All right. Oh, Netflix bombed. Oh, interesting. Wow. Yeah. I'll have to take a look at that. All right. Let me get a few more people in here. Everybody's joining. We'll take a look at the market, figure out what happened today and what will be happening. It's doing like TikTok is being really weird. It's being bright and then dark. Stop doing that. Cool. Let me just get a few more of you in here. Good. All right. We got about 50 of you. So SPY, in case you're not aware, SPY, that's the S&P 500. That's the top 500 basically companies on the stock market. Hey, by the way, is my mic any better now? I did move it a little bit closer. Hopefully that's a little bit better for you guys. We can hear me in more detail, more robust, less echo. Hopefully. All right. Hey, Earl the Pearl. Nice to see you. Camille, Matthew, everybody. Yes, it's more clear. Cool. Nice. Good. Well, yeah, I made the adjustment based on, I think somebody mentioned to take a look at that. All right. So SPY was on a historic run there. Once in 70 years or 50 years, something like that. It went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 days appreciating in value in a row. The last couple days, we started to buy puts, but it kept getting absurd. It just kept going up. So we bought more puts. So it kept going up. So we bought more puts and it kept going up. So we bought more puts. And then that was right when we had it. And we said, okay, maybe we should get rid of them. But then the next day, the market dropped. And then today, we had even a further drop. And basically, the strategy from here that I'm employing is anytime that the current price of the day on SPY drops below the low of previous days, we buy more puts. More. So our next spot on that is 410.10, 410 and 10 cents tomorrow. We'll be buying some more. And then if it were to fall further, about 408 and 10 cents, 408.10. And we're just gonna keep doing that until we've reached the other 50% side of this channel here. At which point, then we will start taking profits all along in this lower zone of the channel here on SPY. And so far, with these last 2 days and having loaded up on puts across the last like 6 days before that, so far we're in the profit zone and things are looking good. But it's very easy for SPY to have a green day tomorrow. Something like this could happen. It could certainly happen. And then that could even be followed by another small green day, but then followed by a red day, and then the continuance, like so. So it isn't necessarily for the faint of heart. It's not an easy play. It's not a slam dunk in any way, but the idea is that the market is going to pull back and correct about 15 points back to around 400. So, but the reason why we take lots of profits along the way is we never know when it's going to be over. So we leave some hanging, we take some profits, and so that's managing the trade. So it should turn out hopefully well. That's the idea of it. But as they say, the market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. So, yeah, we were definitely not going to go to the grave with this play. But yeah, it does seem to be working. We're going to keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully the market will continue to feed back and then pull back like it normally does. But it will not be without probably a green day or two in a row here or there. So at this point, likely the market is heading back to the other end of the channel. So you should see all stocks starting to correct now and pull back. All right, let's see. I wanted to take a look at some of the plays we made today. There were some really pretty good ones. I'm gonna have to share this other screen. So let me flick this over here. Okay, that'll work for the TikTok, and then I gotta switch that screen for you guys watching everywhere. New share, and that would be this one, I believe. Yes. Okay, and then just for a moment, I need to check. I want to show you Futu, Tiger, and Trip, and Johnson & Johnson, and the power of pivot point trading. So let's go in here to the minute chart on Futu. I will, Adam. We'll see. So yesterday on Futu, actually we made money on the upside, and then it had bad news overnight, and we had to actually let it go for about a 40% loss and in the morning. But we made up for it big time as Futu went down substantially after having an offering overnight. So the nice thing about this trade was it was basically all day. A couple members got out right here in this little area right here, just this tiny little area. Did happen to scare a couple of members out of the trade, but for the most part, we entered around here at 160-ish on puts and held for the whole day as it made lower highs all the way down to the end of the day. For 78% gains was what they some members made here. So all the way down to the end of the channel would be something around 200% gains. So that was a hell of a trade today. Super incredible. Even better than that was United Airlines, which yielded over a 300% return. On that drop right there. And we didn't even get the whole drop, but we still got a 300% return on it. It was from right in here all the way down to the bottom in this region here. And the reason why it was about 300% was because the options were priced that way. And if you had bought the 50 strike, which was the most popular strike, it being so far out of the money at the time you would have bought it, would have provided a $33 purchase to all the way up to about a dollar, $121 at sale. So that's like 300, 350, almost 400% in some cases. So United Airlines, really, really big return today. Also Tiger, TIGR, pretty much all day. Also same thing with lower pivot high points, keeping you in the trade all day. It sure would, Kelly. Kelly says that one play right there would pay the entire year on your Discord. That's awesome. Yeah, and yeah, absolutely would. We got into a lot of these right during the open because I have a new scanner that over the last few weeks I've been perfecting for finding all-day bleeders and all-day runners. And so we were able to get into Tiger pretty early in that range up there and carry it through all of these lower high moments. Basically, none of these moments scared us out of the trade, anything, until right around this region here. So that was basically the sell region right in there. And it was possible, if you had multiple contracts, to be taking contracts off at extreme red drops, like right there, right there, right there. So there's multiple opportunities for taking profits along the way as well. What's up for sale? You have those for sale, right? What? Tigers? And then also Johnson & Johnson. Oh, the indicators. Yeah, the ones with the red background and the green. Yes, and the scans. Yeah, I'll probably sell those for in my Thinkorswim items that I have for sale. Yeah, I probably will. Let's see. And then the other one was Johnson & Johnson. J&J. So we noticed that this was running all day early on. We noticed that it had the potential to run all day early on. It was around the first knot, like right around, right in here, the first pullback, 162.89, to stay in all the way until I'll show you where. And some of you who may be semi-new to trading might be like, my God, how could you know? How could you know to stay in and through all these various pullbacks? Well, that is something that you learn in the VIP with me, but it's pivot point trading style. And so entry was here at the beginning of the day. In the first couple of minutes, we noticed that it was running. There was a pullback. That was entry. And then it made higher lows and higher lows all day. And that was the signal to be able to stay in, is that it just kept making higher lows throughout the whole day until finally, right here, it broke that previous low. And that was the moment in which you sold. And in fact, you can see, look at the high volume on that moment. That was a significant moment when it broke that pivot. And that's exactly why, because that is the psychological turning point based on price action. Pivot point trading, there's not a lot that can beat it. Pivot point trading combined with these moving averages and VWAP, you can't beat that with an RSI or a MACD or Bollinger Bands, because the price is what's causing all those indicators to become what they show you. And pivot point trading like that, using pivot points, is to the penny exactly when these trades turn on you. So that was pretty cool. That allowed us to stay in Johnson & Johnson. At that point, by the way, you could then go short on Johnson & Johnson. I don't super recommend that when that happens, but that's called retracement trading or counter trend trading, because the thing is in an uptrend. But at that moment, when it broke the price right there, you could then get in for the short side because the stock has essentially flipped on the day at that point, 2 p.m. And sure enough, it did go down. It's going to be going up against a lot of resistance along the way. So it can be very difficult, only recommended for the advanced trader who's already profitable, winning trend trader. You don't want to start counter trend trading before you get yourself very well trained in trend trading. Trend trading, master that first. All right, cool. Now let's take a look at let's take a look at Netflix. I heard that it released earnings, and woohoo! What a drop on that! What a doozy! So it closed at 550, and it hit a low of 480. So a 70-point drop. And it has dead cat bounced since then, and it is making its way back up. But it's well below VWAP. Everybody's underwater on it. However, we'll see how it is in the morning. Maybe it'll open up some kind of a trade potential for us to either run and close the gap on the day, or maybe it's going to drop further. We'll have to see what the analysts have to say about it from there. All right, let's take a look at some of the trades you'd like to look at, some of the stocks you'd like to look at, some of those tickers. Or does anybody have any questions about what I just explained? Green needle. Matthew, is that you? Matthew, are you the green needle dude? That's funny. Green needle. What is the other thing it says? Something storm. Brainstorm. Looking for a call entry on Mara. The current price crosses the previous day's high. Is it going to be? Is that what you're asking? Okay. Okay. Let's take a look. You want to try to get in Mara, is what you're saying. But you want to get in at the right point. I'm probably going to switch over to TradingView now because that's going to show us on the day charts much better. So here we go. Switching to TradingView. Boom. All right. Back on to TradingView. Now, you said Mara. All right. So, yeah, it's got that value line we were talking about the other day. Right there. And it's basically on it. So, yeah, it does appear to be a decent time to get in. But how can you know when the stock is going to stop going down, right? That's what you want to know. When is this puppy going to stop going down? Well, one logical place will be when it starts going up over a region that it previously had gone down. That's called confirmation. And that might be, for example, when a green candle on the daily chart breaks over the high of a previous red candle. So right now, green needle, red candle. We're looking at 36 on Mara. That today's red candle, the high of it was 36. So if tomorrow Mara were to trade up and over 36, by 10 cents or 20 cents, that would be an entry, and it would signal possibly that the bottom is in and that we're taking off again, because that's quite a shift in momentum. That's a whole total change in momentum, and it's erasing prior days of negativity all in one swoop. However, that might not be tomorrow. Tomorrow might be another red day, and it might be the next day in which a green candle breaks over tomorrow's red candle's high. Okay, so, or it could be many days down the line. So just keep an eye on it, and that is the signal you'll be looking for. Hey, Kelly, it looks like you have something big you wanted to say here. Kelly says, just a plug for this Discord, and Evan, especially. Wow, man. Should I really be reading this? I'm so embarrassed. He says, I want to say thanks. I've learned so much from you, and I am learning daily. I haven't been able to listen to you during the live as I've gone to work again. However, I see your alerts, and I was able to pull off 15% of my account today with the SPY drop. Now I'm green and loving it, he says. This group has at least 5 to 10 runners. They hit every week, and they hold their own in a sideways market. So with Evan's help, you can trade with more confidence and spot patterns, setting up and score. I don't work for these guys. I'm a VIP member and very happy. This guy's genuine and he really cares about bettering your trading skills. Thanks, Evan and Primetime Trading Group. Thanks very much, Kelly. Really nice of you to say. Thank you so much. Let's see. Some members want to take a look at Doge, of course. Today was the big day. Unfortunately, today was probably the weakest day in Doge in a couple weeks now. But that doesn't mean it's over by any means. But today was the big day. It didn't mean anything for the actual price of it. Let me get Doge US dollar from Binance. That should work. So where's Doge going to go from here? I mean, if you try to factor in that today was like its biggest hype day in a long time and it didn't do much, I kind of think negatively of it. So, but if you don't think of it based on the news and you just look at the chart, I'd just be on the defense. This is just an indecision day. Basically, it's a non-day. You could just think of today as not even existing, and that would be just the same for Doge. So we'll see where Doge goes from here. I mean, it was just going up and up and up and up and up. But was that a lead up to today? Maybe. Maybe people are going to be pulling their money off now. Watch out. Maybe you want to do the same. Maybe people are going to be pulling their money off and going and putting it on, XRP and Mara calls and Riot calls and Bitcoin and freaking altcoins and Safecoin and all kinds of crazy stuff. So we shall see. Airbnb. All right, we looked at that yesterday. Let's take another look. XM earnings are tomorrow. Okay, I'll take a look at that. So here's that pattern that we were talking about yesterday, starting to happen. You got that ascending value line on the bottom end, and then a crackdown, like right there. Price breaks down, and now we're in another formation, which is probably a wedge, flat top bottom, which is just delaying the inevitable. They're just milking you. Like you could almost think of the flat top wedge every time it comes up as like putting the hand on the udder of the cow, and it's just like they're just milking you of your money. And then they go down and then they're going to go back up and let's go a little bit more, but there's less milk this time, a little bit more, less milk this time. And they're just milking all your money out of you. And then when that's all over and there's really no more that they can convince you of, and yet you're still in, they just dump on you. So that's the way Airbnb is looking in the future. Probably in 2 or 3 months, it may correct. Clear that one. Skills, says somebody. Skills. All right, let's take a look. And then we'll look at XM. Yeah. I cannot type because I'm in. There we go. Skills we looked at yesterday, and I said that's just, get rid of it. It's just going to the floor. And today went from 14 to 12.5. So just getting worse and worse. I don't know where it's going to bottom and become a great company again. Maybe it's not a good company. Maybe that's what's going on lately. And maybe for the last 3 months, you should have been thinking about that. Like maybe it's not a good company. Maybe that's why it's going down. Just like a reality check, man. All right. Tesla. All right. Tesla held its own today. Came back up after the crash news. It broke trend recently to bottom reverse. It was in a downtrend, but that action there at the bottom is a sign of bottom reversal. So, and with this bullish double bottom as well. So I am bullish on Tesla right now, and I expect Tesla to test highs, 900 range by sometime in May, maybe the end of May, and then eventually get up to like 1100 pretty soon if it were to break through. Oh, dude, Lee says I saved him $300 on skills today because I guess yesterday, Lee, maybe you were the one that said there was like 5 stocks in your portfolio that now you had to cut. Maybe that was one of them, huh? CRISP, CRSP. So yeah, I love CRISPR, but okay, well, if we look at it from that value line perspective, it's actually not doing too bad. Like, let's draw a line along here. Look at that. Look at that. Not too bad. That's like it's right along the line. What you don't want to do is buy into the hype. Don't buy into the hype. Buy when the hype is over and we're down here in the buy zone, on the buy line. For many years, I've called that the value line or the buy line for good reason. So that's where it is right now. CRISPR is a good buy. It's just that, like, you should look previous into the history and see, oh, how long does it take for it to have a major pop? A long time. 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, a year. So, you might want to get a leap option on that. Just let it sit and bake, especially if it's cheap. Maybe you can get one for a couple $100. I doubt it, but if you can, maybe in a year, it'll be worth, hundreds of % more. That would be awesome. Etsy. And a lot of people asking about it. If there's something about, happening in the after hours, let me know, because sometimes I won't look at that unless you say something. Let's see. Don't believe anything happened in the after hours. So Etsy, continuing to appreciate, but it does have that diamond top. We looked at this yesterday. Diamond tops are reversal patterns. So you have that value line going on up. It was like running in a channel, very nicely progressing well. But then at a certain point, it started to put in this diamond top pattern, which is going on right now. And those are usually signs that the stock is going to be going down, not up in the future. But it can be kind of like a giant doji candle, if you can imagine that. It's like an indecision area. And so there does exist the possibility that it can go to the upside, but usually diamond tops are hugely exhaustive, and price falls from there after they're done. Good entry on MUDs. Took profits at previous October 5 strike call. Looking to get this again at 10. Can you look at this for me for a possible bottom entry to hold for the IPO date where it'll sell on that hype day? Yeah, let's take a look at MUDs. Which, it's hard to really see, but you could cost average in perhaps. Kelly, I don't know necessarily what's the bottom price in this whole zigzaggy trajectory going to be on that. But I do know that, $10 was pretty gosh darn good. So that's where we got in before 1070. And so it sounds like you sold up there a little bit. Man, if you can get MUD's warrants too, that, might be really cool. Apple, somebody wants to look at. But yeah, buy low, sell high. By the way, they don't tell you this, but, a lot of people probably have heard the expression, buy low, sell high, right? There's only one problem with that. What if what you buy low is a piece of shit and all it does is go down, right? So really, we need to correct that saying. It should be buy low things that go up and then sell them when they're really high, right? Sell high. So be careful. Don't convince yourself that something's good just because you think it's good. A piece of shit is still a piece of shit. What do they say? Somehow lipstick on a pig or something like that. You can put lipstick on a pig, but still a pig. I think it's something like that. Anyway, Apple, similar to Tesla, broke the downtrend that it was in recently. So Apple was in an uptrend, but then it started to put in lower highs, lower lows, all the way down to this bottom, after which it put in a higher low right there, which is a bullish double bottom pattern, and then broke this trend point and this trend point for a fully confirmed bottom reversal. So in my opinion, Apple's going to test this previous pivot point, probably come back and maybe put a little Elliott wave action in, and then break on through to the all-time high of 145 shortly. We're looking at maybe June for Apple finally hitting the all-time high sometime in the beginning of the June. So by July 4th, Apple's going to probably be sailing in the 150s by the 4th of July. Mark my words. But hey, I can be wrong. Don't worry. SafeMoon won't show up on this chart, I don't think. Let me see. Did it show us last night? No, no, I don't think it did. No, it didn't. SafeMoon. I can pull that up from coin marketplace. Okay, but coin market cap. But I have to reshare this screen. So 1 second, and it's very bright. So everybody's going to be like, is there a dark mode on coin market cap? Yes, there is. Boom. Ooh, very nice. All right. Now let me share that with the group. Where the hell is it? Oh, it's dark. I know that. Okay, this one here. Yeah, SafeMoon. And then back to over here. Okay. Yeah, so for everybody in SafeMoon, that's a lot of topping action. But we do have the good thing that we're looking at here is we do have an increasing pullbacks, increasing bottoms, low end, increasing lows. So that's a good sign. So regardless of it goes like this or comes back down and tests that and goes back up here, those are increasing lows. And you could be looking at in a couple days here, maybe actually probably maybe Friday, pretty soon, at SafeMoon breaking all-time high again. Could even be sooner than that. So yeah, SafeMoon looking pretty damn good. But sure enough, if SafeMoon were to drop below, what price is that? Let's see, that little mark that I put there, you would want to get out. And that little area is like 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros and a 9. 0.000009. So yeah, if we were to break 0.00009, we'd be in a downtrend, and you might have only a couple of last chances to get out. I don't think that's going to happen because I think SafeMoon still has potential yet. So yeah, any other cryptocurrencies you want to look at while I've got coin market cap up? I guess let's take a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is at the bottom end of this channel that it's been in, and it definitely is a buy right now, or accumulate, whatever you want to do. You get some more Bitcoin down at the bottom end of this channel. SNX, that's a coin. So I think that Bitcoin is a buy right now, and it wouldn't reverse trend until 50,000. So it has plenty of wiggle room there before it breaks down in price. Okay, SNX, let's see. Crypto analysis. Synthetics chart. Synthetics is in a downtrend. So whatever hype run Synthetics was on is currently over. Okay, I'm not going to tell you that like it's all over, but it's currently over, and it's been over, it seems like, since February, and it's in a downtrend. And you can know that by these lower highs that it keeps making and these lower lows that it keeps making. It's never ending. It's just a continual downtrend. So that's where SNX is going. Doesn't look super great. Palmer says TRX, Safe Mars. Yeah, let's take a look at Safe Mars, and then we'll go to TRX. I haven't even looked at Safe Mars, so this will be a first time for me. Okay, let's see what we got here. It's only been around for like 7 days, a couple days. Okay, so this looks just like, what were we looking at? It looks just like that. With that huge spike. I can't remember. It looks just like a stock we were looking at where you have that value line moving along the bottom, right? And now is a good time to get in, and you don't buy it on the hype. Remember that? So I don't remember what we were talking about. But anyway, it could be a while before Safe Mars goes back in. A while for Safe Mars is like 1 day or 2 days before Safe Mars starts to take off again. Right now is an excellent buy point, in my opinion. Safe Mars, excellent buy point. Cardano. So what's that? Let's see. I can try and type Cardano, but I think that's ADA, right? That's a Cardano. ADA, yeah. And we'll take a look at TRX. Cardano is doing fine. It's in a sort of flag right now. It's got this sideways channel going on. That's distribution. That's people taking gains, causing it to be it's overloaded with profit taking right now. But that is a bullish flag right there, a very bullish flag. And so ADA is likely to break out and continue. However, that particular flag that it's on, now that I look at it, is over a course of a very long amount of time. Let me see here. Let me get a more of a close prognosis on this. Okay, so whoops. Can I just double click and it'll return to the, no, of course, it couldn't be that easy. Let me pull up like the last 3 months. No, still about a year. So ADA, very slow grower, ADA, but it is growing, very slow. But it's going to have some kind of a pop probably in the future, just months away. Slow gainer. Here's XRP over the last year. It's pulling up the data. There we go. Spiked quite high, has recently fallen below that recent second pullback there. Not the greatest sign that it didn't find support there. So I probably think the XRP is in a bit of a pullback for a while now, maybe another month. QKC, Quark Chain. Oh, I like the sound of that. Quark Chain. Quark Chain's been dying over the last 2 years and has recently come back to life. But unfortunately, it looks like it's over for Quark Chain, for this particular hype run, whatever it's on right now. Over. Ethereum, of course. So yeah, Ethereum continues to be on a great run. It's in a channel that's just not stopping. Very nice, smooth appreciation channel. It's kind of mid channel right now, so I wouldn't sell, I wouldn't buy. I'd be waiting for a little bit more of a pullback to buy. And then when it gets to the top of the channel, I wouldn't even sell. I would just sell like 20%, 30%, and I'd take that money and then wait a month or a week or however long it takes for it to get to the bottom end of the channel again and replant that seed down there and just keep rotating and building, rotating and building. TRX, yep, pulling it up. Did I yet? No, I don't think I did, but I meant to. I think I may have looked at TRX for you, right? Head and Shoulders. I see what you're talking about, but they're usually much closer to each other than that. Maybe, yeah. And if that's the case, then you can sell at the next shoulder, right? Right. Yeah, we'll take a look at those. Let me just finish taking a look at more of the crypto market, and then we'll come back to regular stocks in just a minute. Any other ones? Litecoin. Litecoin just goes on these waves. You have a big wave and then an aftershock, big wave. So maybe an aftershock is coming and another big wave. Could be like 2 months away before Litecoin is any higher. VeChain, oh boy. Yeah, that's just like, not much to analyze there. That's just gone crazy. but it looks good. Looks really bullish, and it is kind of holding along the bottom edge right there. I wouldn't buy it right here, and I wouldn't sell it. And we're kind of triple topping, but it is a triple top kind of wedge formation that's forming, flat top wedge. So probably around what looks to be in about 3 or 4 days, maybe even less, VeChain may then shoot up more, probably about the distance from the base of the wedge to the top of the wedge. It's going to shoot up that much more. I can't quite see the prices on that. Okay, so the bottom of the wedge was like 0.17. The top of the wedge was like 0.27. So another 10 cents. So from 0.27 to 0.37. So that's probably what's going to happen with VET. CRO. Yeah, we're going to take a look at American. I think we already looked at American Airlines. Yeah, we made over 300% on American Airlines today. CRO now topping and kind of holding up there and starting to create lower lows. Not a good sign. With price expansion, not a good sign. That thing's about to crap out. Looks like I don't know when, but about to crap out. All right, that's it with crypto. Let's jump over back to TradingView. Here we go. Yeah, that one. Awesome. All right, somebody wanted to look at CRISPR. We already did, Ryan, and you asked for it earlier, and we looked at it, and I analyzed it, and I guess you weren't looking. Okay, yeah, that was the one I was talking about. Oh, maybe that's what you were saying. You were answering my question. What was it? And yeah, it was CRISPR. It looked just like CRISPR, right? All right, cool. Checkpoint, CKPT. Checkpoint Therapeutics. We looked at this yesterday. It's a good time to buy in. You also do, however, risk that you might be buying in on a crap out. It may now be crapping out because it's breaking that value line, you see. But however, if somehow right now is this wonderful region to buy in, it turns out to be true, then maybe by like June or something, you might get another one of those spikes. So if you're real patient, maybe you can get a 50 or 75% return on your money over the course of 2 or 3 months. All right, somebody asked for OZ Avgo, Broadcom topping, probably putting in a diamond top. Certainly it's just topping distribution pattern. So, or it could be a diamond, you see. So either way you cut it, they're both topping patterns, and they're both right there, staring us in the face. So Avgo was on a great run. Broadcom was on a great run, but now it seems to have entered into a distribution cycle, which is sideways. Dow theory. Go look it up. Check it out. XLM. A lot of people asked for XLM. I think that was crypto, right? But let me pull it up here. XLM, US dollar, Coinbase. Yeah, so similar thing to like all those hype stocks. This one's very hyped. It doesn't seem to have an internal rate of return. It just seems to have hype pullbacks, hype pullback baselines, you see. Hype pullback. So this is like a baseless stock, a baseless coin. I don't know anything about it, but the charts are telling me that this coin is full of shit. I don't know why. Maybe it's the greatest thing. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But the chart is telling me that it's nothing but hype, that it's completely full of hot air. Let's see. Sundial. We looked at that yesterday. We'll look at it again now. So it may be at a good buy point. As you can see, the bottom here, rate of return, the value line, the buy line. The one thing that I do not like about that value line and that buy line is that it's very slow. The rate of return of this company is very slow. Like they don't make very much profit. and they're not running their business well enough. It doesn't even, it's possibly not even beating inflation. So yeah, they may not be running their business very well. But nonetheless, if you like the company right now, it does seem to be a good buy, a buy point that you haven't seen since the end of January. So if it does go up from here, you can be looking at some good appreciation, like if it does that kind of thing again. I don't think it will, but maybe. Hoff V, somebody's been asking several times. Hoff V, Hall of Fame resort and entertainment company. This is quite hypey. This is like just full of hype. But there's that value line. It's at a good buy point right now, possibly. If it were to go much lower, like to 250, you might be game over. It's a very difficult one to trade. I'd much rather trade something like Deer over that, because it's just going up and up and up and up, and I don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about it at all. I go over to Hoff V, I'm like, where are we going from here? Down? Probably. United Airlines overall, had a big dump today. We made 300% on the 50 strike options holding all day today through that bleed out. I don't know. Was that across the entire airline? Yeah, there's jets. So that was across the entire travel sector. So that's not particular to United Airlines. Maybe Delta also had a similar fall. American Airlines. Yeah, but I mean, United seemed to be hit the most. However, that's not necessarily intrinsic to that particular airline or any of the particular airlines. It seems to be like, let's go over to Carnival Cruise Lines. Yeah, it seems to be just like travel sector in general. And in fact, today we made some money on Trip as well. TRIP, TripAdvisor, getting puts. No, we didn't go over Micron. Micron, here it is. Micron was on a wonderful run earlier this year, but has since slowed down and started to topple and top out. So you can kind of see it possibly. But look at these three tops right there. And then you have, if you draw a parallel line, kind of a captured region of just slow internal rate of return. I mean, versus the just hyper mega growth speed it was going on before that. Unfortunately, that means that Micron has probably entered a distribution phase in the Dow cycle, and as everyone who accumulated all these profits are now taking them out little by little by little, much more than before, where the stock was just appreciating. So it's called distribution. It's basically a sell-off, and then eventually it's going to come back down a bit. Oh, that's funny, Coane. All right, who are you on TikTok? Oh, okay. So there was restrictions on travel today. There you go. I mean, I just read the charts, man. I knew something happened with travel today. SOS. Somebody asked for SOS. So SOS, ever since it did the offering, has way more shares than before. So in order to move it, it requires more money. So whatever rate of appreciation SOS was going on before that, now it's like handicapped. It's like a crippled version of what it used to be. And simultaneously, it left a bad taste in the mouth of anyone who was invested in it, because now they know that they're just going to get taken advantage of. Anytime the price goes up, they're just going to have to sell their shares before SOS does another offering, And so who wants to be in that? It's just, it has so many negatives about it. And that's why Futu fell a lot today as well. They also did the same thing. Very irresponsible. Like Apple, on the contrary, they don't issue more shares, asking the public and begging them for money. They do the opposite. They actually buy back shares from you. They do monthly buybacks. I think they even do it weekly. Weekly buybacks, could even be daily. Daily buybacks of their shares. They've been doing that forever. So that just continues to opposite of dilution. It reduces the share pool and causes the price to go up. So Apple is like a no-brainer investment because of that. If you can find companies that are doing share buybacks regularly and consistently, oh man, that's like an extra boost. That's like a free dividend in a way. And if they pay dividends on top of that, that's even better. Yeah, we already did a lot of the cryptos. Doge, XRP, we already did it. SCHX. So that's basically like the S&P, but it's just the large caps, just the biggest companies. But it looks very much like the S&P 500. Look at that chart, okay? Look at that chart. And now let's switch it to SPY. Look at that. It was virtually identical. So you're basically invested in the market with that, SCHX. And, it's wonderful. Like just every month, if you have some savings, you have some money, just keep putting it in it. For the next 10 years, 20 years, just keep putting it in. Just keep putting it in that, and it'll keep growing. A good job on that. That's the Schwab Strategic, basically market fund. I did go over Netflix, Kumi. Yes. SOS legit just climbed out of all that bad press and immediately issued more shares. Ridiculous, right? Ridiculous. Wayne Wonder 813. Cool. Gevo, AAL. Yeah, we just looked at AAL, PENN. We looked at that last night. What I don't like is the break of this trend line here. That wasn't good. Right here, it broke trend line. It's now in the downtrend. That's a very easy spot. Like it's very obvious. The stock is flipped. The stock is now in a downtrend, and now it's putting, and it broke that trend line. And so you can know that it's in a downtrend at that moment, or going to go into downtrend. And sure enough, it started to put in lower lows and lower highs. And what did I say yesterday? I think last night we were looking at this candle and like, hey, maybe that's the lowest to go, but I don't think so. And I even drew, I remember, you can go back and watch the YouTube. I drew an arrow down here, and that's exactly where it ended up. So it's just going to keep doing that, man. Recognize when something's done and go put your money on something else that can make you money. He who is quickest to adapt wins. Palantir, also in a bad downtrend, same problem. If it had any kind of rate of return, it probably would have been right along here. And sure enough, that break of the trend line is a huge gap down. Must have been very bad news. And, should have been appreciating all along that time, but something bad happened in there. And it then was for sure in a downtrend because of the lower lows and the lower highs. It has recently kind of started to wedge. So that may continue for a few months. Again, that's just milking the cow. They're just milking your money. They're just milking everybody's money. And then it's going to come down. And I'm a buyer of Palantir. Love it. But I'm not buying until it's $10, $7, somewhere in there. And it's not because I'm greedy. It's because I'm smart. I'm not going to go anywhere near it right now when the chart looks like that. It's destined to go back to 10 to 7. That's where it started, and it's losing everything that it put in. And there's no reason to think that won't continue. BTX. Brooklyn Immunotherapeutics. That's just spike after spike. Yeah, there's nothing to predict there. Nothing predictable there. That's just all hype. So just read the news and sell when you got some gains. Don't hold on. Don't believe in this puppy. Please don't believe in that stock. Ogen. Yeah, we'll take a look at DNN. Ogen, so same thing here where it had that appreciation rate going, internal rate, the value line, really strong, like Palantir, then all of a sudden must have snapped and had some bad news and started to put in a low and a lower high. And now back to the low again. Maybe it'll break down further, or maybe it'll do, again, milking the cow, and they're just going to milk you for a couple months. Until you've got no money left, till everybody has no money left, and then they'll just drop you for the what do they call that in like World Wrestling Federation, where you put your knee and then they break your back on the knee? That's what they're going to do. They're just waiting for that. Right now, they're just spinning you in the air, and they're milking you, fucking like getting all the money out of you, and then they're just going to slam you down on their knee, or like a belly flop or something. Somebody said suplex. I don't know if that's true. Milk the cow till the cow's got no milk. That's right. I mean, that is exactly what they're going to do. Why would they leave any milk in there? Hell no. They need that transfer of money to go from dumb money to smart money hands. That's what it's all about. And they're going to do it nice and slow. They're going to just put that needle right in your vein, and they're going to keep feeding you the news and the hype, and you're going to keep believing in it, and the price is just not going to do it, and they're going to keep issuing shares, and you're not going to know what's going on, and before you know it, you lost all your money. Very unfortunate. ONPH. Atomic drop. Did you look it up? That's cool. Yeah, it's going to take an atomic drop. I like that. ONPH, Oncology Pharma. This looks a little bit like some of the crypto we looked at. But yeah, it's got the lower highs going on, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's not doing better, because it does have higher lows going on as well. In general, though, it seems to be prices converging. So it's kind of at a stalemate, and it could last a while. Could last another month or two before it finally takes direction. It seemed to have been bullish before, so perhaps it will be bullish again. But is it worth waiting all that time when you could probably find something better to put your money on? I don't know. Kelly says, looks like a turkey. It does. It looks like a turkey. It totally does. AFA and then Fiverr. Sure thing. Scott's Miracle Grow. Yeah, we'll take a look at that as well. What happened? AFA. There we go. Afria. Yeah. Similar problem there. You know, somewhere along the lines, I think maybe in here, it broke trend. And then it's now putting in those lower highs, and it's on its way down. It's being milked. It's entered that milking phase, the cow milking phase, where you're being milked of all your money. And it's going to do that for a couple months. Keeping your hopes up. We've entered the milking phase. That's what we're going to have to start calling that. We already had the turkey. It was a turkey, but now it's turned into a milked cow. But I'm serious, guys. I mean, this is quite, a repeating pattern. CTRM, somebody else asked for that. Like, are you guys getting accustomed to this look now? Are you like Kelly? You could probably spot this a mile away. Like, eventually, some of you guys are probably seeing this, seeing how I have to look at all these different charts every time for you guys, and we're looking at just crap, just trash, just utter trash every day, and literally with utter trash, like utter garbage, that we grab those utters on the utter garbage and we milk them until they're dead. But yeah, this is another one. Lower highs, lower lows, it's dead. It isn't even being milked. It's just pushing you right down into your gravestone. Utter trash. Yeah. Gosh. What did you say? Perfect example of a stock that got milked is Open Door, but Cathie Woods is still averaging down. Yeah. I mean, I don't agree with a lot of what Cathie Woods is buying into or does. I mean, I find that really strange that she basically stuffed a lot of other stocks into her SpaceX fund. Her space fund. I think it would have been a lot better if that space fund was more a pure space fund. That would have been really fun. Don't you think so? I think that got fucked a little bit because we're buying Deere, the tractor company. Dude, it's going to be 150 years before they terraform another planet and then ask Deere to help them. Like, dude, can I have my money while I'm alive and while my kids are alive and while their grandkids are alive and while their grandkids are alive? That would be nice. Like, Cathie, thanks for stuffing a bunch of bullshit in there. That's no thanks. What did you ask me to take a look at? Open, yeah. Yeah, that's a dead turkey. Yeah, no. Can you see it? Like, there's that really nice obvious appreciation line. Look at that. It's just, it kept holding, it kept holding, kept holding. And when did it break? Right there. If you just draw it, you can find these things and you can know it. You can know when they happen. And then that turned out to be a lower high. And then, wow, what a whammy. I mean, it was just like in 2-3 days, the stock went down 50%, you know, so there you go. And lower lows still, lower highs rather. And now it even broke down today. Today was the first day it broke down below 17. It's now at 16.4. It's going for the atomic, what did you call it? Atomic drop. Boom. Just right across my knees. That's what's happening to Open Door, the atomic drop. That's when, like, you know, if you're a billionaire, you come in and you just buy them. You just buy that company up when they're just like flat out damn near worthless and they don't even know it. Kabui, I don't know what that is. KBWY. Interesting. Exchange rate fund, premium yield equity REITs. Okay. Yeah. So the rate of real estate appreciation stocks is kind of somewhat slow right now. Can you see that? So this is like a channel it's in. And that's your rate of return. So, like, you know, at the bottom end of the channel at the beginning of the run, it was about 14. And at the bottom end of the channel now is probably something like 21. And it took a year to do that. So 21 divided by 14, that's a 50% rate of return over the last year. That's absolute garbage because most stocks have been doing 100, 200, 400, 600, 800% return over the last year if you're a good stock picker. So, you know, professionals know that. I'm not just pulling weird numbers out of my butt. Like, you know, they're doing even better than I am. Like there's these stocks that are doing super fantastic on reflation and stagflation periods during this economic turnaround. And this is not really one of them. Now, maybe while you have your capital appreciating 50%, maybe it's giving you a 20% dividend. Let's take a look. But if it's not above like 10%, I'm not going to be impressed because it's a REIT. It should at least give you 13%. 8%. Not good enough. Not good enough. I don't like it. So I don't like it on that basis. I think you could do way better. What about VNQ? See that real estate fund doing much better. Doesn't necessarily give you the 4% royalty dividend, but it has nearly doubled in that same amount of time. Nearly doubled. VNQ, Vanguard Real Estate Fund. DNN, yeah, we wanted to look at that. We looked at it yesterday. So right now it appears to be in a bit of a zone. I don't know what it's doing there. And this is a very strange pattern like I've never seen. This is not a pattern. It is just in this zone. It's in a trading range, which is just odd. Like after this appreciation spike, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this stock might also be a lot of hot air right now. Just hype, might be baseless because it does resemble that kind of hype spike and then plateauing that you see. There's no real good internal rate of return going on that seems to be consistent. Maybe what I just drew, and we shall see. DNN possibly filled with hot air. NEO, all right. NEO also broke down. So NEO was a good stock, was bullish. Now it is no longer the case. Right here at 57.50, right there, that was the flip. Like that's when you just get all out. Just, you know, you should not be in it now. NEO is in a downtrend and is now entered the milking phase. And look at that. It's a perfect utter milking. Look at that. And it's just every time, and it's running out of milk every single time. And then the atomic slam. NEO's going to be $20 by July. Who wants to bet on it? Go ahead, fucking get an option. Don't bet me. Bet the other way if you don't believe me. CCIV. That's what the market's for. You don't take my word for it. Put your money where your mouth is. So CCIV, man, look at that rate of return right there, right? Obviously, incredible. But that one day, like when it listed, the next day, it just couldn't recover, and it's been in the milking phase ever since then. It's getting milked. The atomic body slam down to about $10 coming soon. Looks like also July. Consider it milked. What would it take for a milk stock like DM to recover? Your mama. I don't know. Oh man, some of these have no answer. So the thing is, this is one of those hype stocks. See how it doesn't have any kind of a rate of return as a business, like nothing. It's completely baseless. There's no value line going on. Every time it gets hyped, and then it comes back to this straight baseline. That's not business. Like there's something wrong with that. That's not correct. That is just hype, coming back down into a channel. And then you got these hype spikes. This is just a hype stock. And then when it stopped making those higher highs, that's it. It was over. And guess what phase we're in now? Yep, that's right. The milking to the atomic body slam. So DM ought to be back to about 11 by August, something like that. A miracle? No, because I don't know. Hype isn't miracle. Hype is, and by the way, once that's happened, like once this has happened and the hype has stopped, why do you think that is? Can anyone think of why maybe the hype has stopped? Like, what is the hype? It's a company, they pay for marketing, right? So what happened here? Why didn't it continue? They stopped paying the hype. The hype is over. It's done. They're done. Everyone at the company got out. Now it's just a bunch of asshole investors, a bunch of idiots and assholes now stuck, right? With lots of money, LOTZ. Oh, burn. Okay, AMD. The milk and slam. We're gonna call it the milk and slam. That's funny. AMD, like we looked at the other night, it's just totally topping. It's been that way for like 8 months. There's just no money in it for you. It's ranging. It's not going anywhere. AMD not doing good. But what did we look at? One of the was it NVIDIA? Or was it one of those chip companies was doing much better than they were? Might have been NVIDIA just because it had that nice smooth channel, but NVIDIA also topping. What was it? It was it Intel? No, Intel was just all over, back and forth, up and down. Intel, the worst freaking place you could put your money, going nowhere slow. Qualcomm, maybe. It wasn't that. We weren't looking at that, but let's take a look at Qualcomm. Qualcomm all over the map. And if you were to draw that value line that I was drawing earlier, right? If you can just picture that, you can see what happened here. Game over. Turkey head. There's the fucking turkey head. There's the, here's the gizzard. There's the nose, right? Do you see it? And yeah, it's going to just go into that. We're going to go into a milk and slam mode. Is what it looks like. It's funny, but true, we're having a good time with it, but it's also true. So I certainly would like to pick better downtrends than that, though. Like I'd like to make a living less off of like betting on that things are going to break down like that, and more on that things are going to continue like that, like deer. Ooh, what an uptrend. Bag holders, yeah. What else you guys want to look at? We have over Rocket. Okay, let's take a look at Rocket. That's a good idea. Yuck, just been like that for so long. So many times I tried to make money on Rocket, and it just failed me every single time. It feels like Tesla. Tesla is, talk about an elusive stock. Very hard to get any kind of 1 or 2 weeks of direction out of the damn thing. RH Restoration Hardware. Are you talking about, Adam? All right. What? Why did you think that was in a channel? It kind of is. It looks like it's got knocked back into the channel, if possibly. It did have a bit of a channel there. But the problem was what happened recently, and what does that mean for the channel? Like, it needs to stabilize again, before you could probably place any channel trade on it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's for sure, though. I mean, it's definitely in an uptrend of some kind, but you would want to buy it at the bottom end of the channel. And right now it's at the high. It's at an all-time high. So too late on that. How do you keep track of tax info and capital gains? Your brokerage will give you all that information at the end of the year. And we talk about how to do tax loss harvesting at the last few days of December in our group. So we'll go over that in a couple of months, the end of December. But basically, by the end of the year, the idea is by the end of the year, if you still have any positions that are losing, you sell them the last day of the year that you can, and then you get to deduct those losses against your gains for the year, and then start the next year fresh. So that's kind of cool. Disney, all right. Yeah, Disney topping, possibly in a small diamond top pattern there. And so today, that drop may start a return back like this, down, possibly. So we shall see. Seems like there's a lot of negative forecast out there, right? But I don't think everything's that way. I mean, look at Microsoft. Like, wow, outstanding. It's taken off. You can't get in now. You would have wanted to get in like during the flag down here in the 230s. Now it's at 260. But so anyway, companies are doing good. Ethan Allen, yeah, that's one of the ones we have marked up as being in a very good uptrend also. It's a bit toppy lately, but possibly if you can get a channel out of it, if you can figure out the channel on it, there's probably a good trade in there. Let's take a look. A good entry at some point. So somewhere along there, maybe 28, you could get in and then get out at like 35 on the top end in a couple of days, in like a week or two. 32, something like that. Dell, somebody says. Yeah, Dell's been on a great run lately, ever since the pandemic low, of course, which has amounted to 171% return in that time. It's like even just gone out of channel. So it is even hard to say where it goes from here. It's very strong, doing really good. If it was in a channel, it used to be right there, and now, woof, yeah. So liftoff on Dell. Dell's doing great. Definitely, we take Dell trades when they show up, and they do show up every couple of days. Dell might be running. We take it, or it might be having a pullback. Haven't seen a stock to buy yet, says Lee. Well, yeah, that could be the way it is. A lot of people are checking on what their holding is doing. So we have SE was in a channel, pretty good channel all the way up through here. Got carried away. A little bit too much excess there, and has now broken that channel. It isn't necessarily in a downtrend yet because it just broke this high recently. and it could be climbing back up and out. So it's just that it's possibly entering the ranging distribution phase of the process. So these things, they go on a run. That's one phase. And then they just start to distribute. They start to sell. Everybody starts to take profits for like 6 to 8 months, 2 quarters, 3 quarters. And then price goes down to reattract a whole new rally. And that's the cycle. That's the Dow theory. Maybe a short-term play on Starbucks. Let's see, been looking strong way at the top of the channel, and it's just starting to pull back. So it's probably too early then. But let's take a look at it. Starbucks. So I guess you could say the channel is something right around there. And in my opinion, then we've got a long ways to go before we've got entry, probably around 112, 113 in like a week and a half, something like that, maybe a week, if this stock continues to channel. Yeah, we looked at Airbnb a lot. You don't need to say that. We're not going to look at that one again. We already looked at Airbnb. There's Plug Power with that. It was filled with lots of hype. But if you had to say it had any kind of internal rate of return, maybe it was that value line right there. Certainly, it has been doing nothing but making lower highs and lower highs and lower highs and lower highs. Didn't even get milked. It's just going down for the atomic body slam, just down, 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 down. Atomic body slam, bam. Yeah, we already looked at Sundial. You can watch the YouTube on my channel. Everybody on TikTok, make sure you click through the link on my in my bio. It says it right there, so hopefully you see that. Live day trading every day. Tomorrow we will be doing live day trading for everyone. You get to tune in. Come join the Discord right now, and tomorrow you'll be able to day trade with us all day. High frequency trading, day swinging, day trading, 5-minute candle, mega dip buys, options trades. You can use shares. We'll find also potential swing entries. So it'll be a lot of fun. Like 7.5 hours of trading, starting half an hour before the market opens tomorrow, all day. Going to be great. Make sure you click the link in my bio to come join the group tonight, so you can be all set for that. ASTI, let's see. Oh God, why are we looking at that? Really? No, I don't think, are we actually looking at ASTI? You didn't just ask me to pull up ASTI, did you? That must have come up on one of your screeners and you're like, no, that was a very bad screen. You need to check for volume on that screen. PSN, Parsons Corporation, it's just sideways. I'm not sure if that's the one you wanted me to see. SMG, yeah, somebody wanted me to take a look at that. Scott's Miracle Grow. Finally got to it. Fast Jake, there you go. Yeah, so that appears to be in a pretty good channel. It reminds me of Target a couple of quarters ago. If we can get it, if we can try and visualize a channel on that, I think it has a nice ping-ponging going on. Yeah, something like, I guess, right in there. So you should be looking for an entry both on the value line here of the bottom end of the channel and whenever a green breaks over a red candle high. So Scott's Miracle Grow, possibly an entry coming up tomorrow and Thursday and Friday. So next 3 days, be watching SMG for potential entry. And any of you who trade with us regularly in the group, in our Zoom, remind me tomorrow to take a look at that, will you? And we'll check it out. We'll see if there's a entry. CGC, Canopy Growth, right? Same deal there. And this one is just pure hype. Looks like a lot of hot air again. It just looks like pure hype. There's no actual business rate of return going on. It's just hype, baseline, hype, baseline, hype, return, hype, baseline, hype, is over. We ran out of marketing money. The end. It's over. No thank you. Milk you for the Atomic Body Slam. Oh, my wife sneezing in the background. I don't know if you heard that. Bless you. How about Pharma Surf? Surface Oncology. See, now we have some kind of a rate of return going on there with the business. You see that? So all along here, and then finally the break right in here. So there must have been some bad news around that time because whatever they were doing right ended. And then it's gone into that milking mode where we have this wedge bottom and we keep, milking everybody's money little by little, getting them squeezed all out until finally sometime in like October, we go down for the Atomic Body Slam. Do we have to do the trial to experience that tomorrow? No, Ice Freeze, no. That's the coolest thing. So tomorrow is open house, as a matter of fact, open house at Primetime Trading Group. You'll be able to come on into our Discord server and just look through all different channels and see what it's all about. We have lots of analysts, a lot of alert channels, VIP area, good stuff there. You'll be able to see what you would get if you wanted to get a membership. But tomorrow you'll be able to do all that absolutely without even getting a membership. You can just come on in and be with us all day tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. And on that note, yep, that's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 30 minutes before the market opens. Everybody, make sure that you join our server right now. It's link in the bio. And if you're over on YouTube, just click the link in the description. It's right there. All right. Have a good night, everybody. And let's see if we can do some real atomic body slams tomorrow and make some money with some puts.